So let's start things off at the bottom with a fragrance I recommend you do not purchase. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a decent fragrance, but if you were to buy it at retail, there are so many other fragrances that are very similar that you can buy for so much less. What fragrance am I talking about? Montblanc's Explorer Ultra Blue. Released in 2021, Explorer Ultra Blue was Montblanc's follow-up to Explorer, which was a decent clone of Creed Aventus. Now, from Montblanc, we've come to expect clones. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I appreciate that you can buy a cheaper version of Creed Aventus with Explorer. And when this came out, a lot of people were expecting, okay, they're going to take maybe a Royal Water from Creed. Are they going to take one of Tom Ford's blue fragrances? Instead, they took Polo Blue, maybe Nautica Voyage, and they mixed it together and we got just a cheap smelling, yeah, it smells like a shower gel. And again, nothing wrong with the shower gel, but if you're going to spend close to $100 on a fragrance, you want something that's going to be a bit more substantial, something that's going to smell a bit more sophisticated. So for that reason, I'm going to put this in the tier of pass. In today's video, gents, we're going over newly released fragrances. I'm going to give you my opinion straight up. Should you buy them or should you pass? The next fragrance on our list, Acqua Di Gio's 2020 release, Profondo. Or is it Profondo? Guys, you know I can't pronounce anything right to save my life, so let me know in the comments which one it is. And I always appreciate you guys, if you enjoy these videos, smashing that like button, letting the YouTube algorithm know that, hey, Antonio, I want you to create more fragrance videos. Where does this one rank? Guys, I'm going to go to the complete opposite, and I'm going to say highly recommended. In fact, I'm going to say if you enjoy fragrances, you need to add this to your collection. So why am I so bullish on Profondo? Because I love how it actually filled a hole in the Acqua Di Gio niche, which Profumo is, in my opinion, the best one out there. That smoky incense, really nice. But this one right here with the aquatic, with the marine notes and the great longevity, this one was just a solid entry into the line. Hence why I bought a big full bottle with my own money, guys. Highly recommended. This is one of my favorites in the Acqua Di Gio line. You should add it to your collection. Now, you may be asking, if you're going to rate Profondo so high, where are you going to put the new Eau de Parfum? Just came out 2022. This is Acqua Di Gio's latest release, and I have to say it is a solid entry. In fact, my opinion, it replaces the original of all the fragrances. Very similar, but it feels a bit more modern. There's just something, the notes, it doesn't feel as dated, and this is a solid entry. That being said, if you already own the original, you have Profumo, you have Profondo, I'm not going to recommend you go out and buy this one at full retail. I would wait till it hits discounters. Why? It's just too similar to the original. It really doesn't add that much value, I think, to a collection. And yeah, it's a good fragrance. If you don't own any Acqua Di Gios, this would probably be the one to start off with. And in that case, go smell it in a store. And if you like it, go ahead and pay full retail. But in my opinion, this is something that for most people, yeah, wait till it hits a discounter. Next up, we've got Montblanc's Legend Red. You're going to see this at Duty Free's just came out 2022 release, a beautiful fragrance. That being said, if you already have Legend Spirit, you're going to find that it may be repetitive. There's a little bit more sweetness in this one. Again, if you've got Polo Red, if you've got Legend Spirit, it's a repetitive buy. But if you don't own those, if you are in a duty free, you sample it and you smell it and you love that sample, then go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, it's a pass. So this one I'm sliding into the only if you love it and sample it category. Next up, we have Tom Ford's Beau de Jour Eau de Parfum. This is a beautiful barbershop fragrance. If you want something old school, something your grandfather would have pulled off, and something that is elegant, something timeless, something for the guy I definitely think over the age of 30, 45, wearing a suit, just going out on a Sunday, wanting to feel good, wanting to look good, wanting to stand out from all the other sweet fragrances out there. This is an aromatic, strong, again, barbershop scent. Highly recommended. And for that reason, I'm going to slot it right into it's worth paying full retail. Next up, we've got Dolce & Gabbana's 2020 release, The One Eau de Parfum Intense. This is a beautiful, solid fragrance. If you like cardamom, you like something rich, you want something elegant, beautiful for the winter, for a cool fall, this is the fragrance you want to grab. And many people have said, hey, this made the EDP, it made the original, The One, obsolete as soon as this came out. I'm not going to, I've got all of them, and I have to say that it's not as strong as some of the others. That being said, it is a beautiful, it's probably the most elegant of all of the One releases, and one of the most versatile with that. It's just a solid, this is a banger, and it is well worth paying full retail for this fragrance. And sticking with the house of Dolce & Gabbana, let's go over and let's look at their 2021 release, and this is Light Blue Forever. So I bought all these fragrances with my own money, and this one I was probably the most excited about because I kept reading about this realistic grapefruit opening. I didn't have anything like this in my collection, and sure enough, when I spray, I mean, this thing is amazing. That being said, I realized, I don't really normally wear fragrances that have a lot of grapefruit, and I don't want to walk around smelling like a grapefruit. I mean, a great summer fragrance. And if you love the note of grapefruit, this is all for you. But yeah, is it going to get a lot of use in my collection? Not really. So that's why I'm going to recommend this one. And you wait till it hits discounters. Again, it's a solid fragrance. And if you love the grapefruit note along with ozonic, I mean, this is an oceanic, a really nice summer fragrance, but that grapefruit dominates and is, I think, for a lot of people, the whole reason to pick this one up. So about a decade ago, Hollywood released 2 movies, Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down, at about the same time. And I remember seeing these and thinking, who in the world thought it was a great idea to release 2 very similar movies that had basically the same plot, except one did really well, the other one didn't. In fact, the other one's pretty much forgotten. Channing Tatum, love you, man. But that movie just really didn't go anywhere. And I'm wondering what Dolce & Gabbana was thinking with the release of Italian Love. This one just came out, 2022 release. I grabbed it, not knowing much about it, but I knew I was going to make this video. I can write this stuff off in the business. I just have a fragrance collection addiction here. Point being, as soon as I smell it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is like the same thing as Forever, except a little bit more tuned down, a little bit more versatile, but that grapefruit note opening is unmistakable. It seems like it's the same fragrance. And for that reason, I've got to put a hard pass on this fragrance. I think it's a beautiful fragrance. It's probably even better than Forever, more versatile. But because I think a lot of people actually picked up Forever, you're going to smell this and this is going to feel redundant. And guys, just because I'm putting fragrances into the past category does not mean that they're bad fragrances. 95% of fragrances that hit the market are actually really, really good. It's just I feel that some of these are redundant. And for that, I've got to say Emporio Armani's Stronger With You, absolutely, I feel was another redundant release. This came out in 2021, was difficult to find. I actually had to get this one from Europe sent over to me. So I paid full retail. It was expensive, plus the shipping fees. And yes, it's got this roasted chestnut, but when you look at the other ones, especially the original Armani Stronger With You is an absolute beautiful fragrance. And this one carries the tradition. But is it that much of an improvement on the original? I don't think so. And so for that reason, I got to put it down there in the past. It's also still hard to get. And for that reason, I just why I get it why perfume companies do this. This was more of a European release, but it is something that, for me, I would pass. It's just not worth going after. Next up, let's talk about the house of Givenchy. And we're going to talk about Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boisee. I'll be straight up, gents. This is a beautiful fragrance. Woody, warm, cozy, with a touch of iris. And I think that in general, the Gentleman line, they seem to be able to do no wrong. And there are going to be more fragrances from this house on the collection. This was the 2020 release, and this is going to be the woodier, as the name implies, and is just a solid entry. If you haven't smelled this, grab it. Now, I'm going to put this one at wait till discounters, because guess what? It is out there at discounters. So you can get this one actually, yes, lower than retail. I would highly recommend you pick it up, a solid entry. Now, you may be asking, why didn't I rank the Boisee higher? Well, because I wanted to give room higher up for another Gentleman fragrance that actually just came out in 2021, and that is the Eau de Toilette Intense. This one is going to be even more versatile, more refined smelling. It has great longevity, solid projection. If you like the Dior Homme line, you are going to absolutely love this. You may feel, this one right here, it's not redundant. There's just something about this one that everyone is loving. Highly recommend it. And for that reason, I think you could pay full retail, but you don't have to. You can look around. You can find this at discounters. But even if you found it at full retail, it would be worth it. Again, both those Givenchys are great, but if I had to go with one from the collection, gentlemen, I would go with their latest 2022 release. That's going to be the Eau de Parfum Reserve Privee. This one is dark. It's got a boozy note to it. Again, it's got that lipstick smell, but it isn't overpowering. It's strong. It's masculine. This is incredibly versatile. Yes, this is one of the most elegant fragrances I have in my collection. A solid addition just came out, so you're going to have to pay pretty much full retail for it if you want to grab it now. But you can try it out there in stores. Highly recommended. Add this one to your collection. Now, in the category of paying full retail, I've got 2 other fragrances which almost seem like they're redundant, but they're not, especially if you don't own the originals. So we've got the 2020 release. This is going to be Le Male Le Parfum. And guys, is it male or male? Again, correct me down in the comments. I always appreciate your guys' input. And then we've got Armani Code's Eau de Parfum. This is a 2021 release. Both of these, in my opinion, replace the original. The original Le Mans, I mean, it's great if you've got the original formulation, but as you guys know, they've reformulated it so many times. This does a great job of bringing back the original stronger concentration and is a beautiful modern interpretation. This one right here, again, if you love Armani Code, but you felt that it just went to crap over the years because of reformulations, go try this one. This one gets right back to the original, does an excellent job. A great, both of these sweet, great. This one more of a winter, not as sweet. This one a bit more sweet, but both of them excellent, proven DNA when it comes to fragrances and highly recommended. Don't be afraid to pay full retail. Now jumping to the other end of the spectrum, we've got Tom Ford's Black Orchid Parfum. And this is a 2020 release, and I'm going to have to say pass on this one. I have the original. I think it's so much better. I don't know. They've got earthy notes listed and stuff, but I just didn't feel them. This one felt way too feminine, and I know it's a unisex fragrance, and maybe for a woman, you would absolutely love this. As a guy, I felt that the original, actually with that earthy note, you could make this work, and it just stood out, was so different, amazing. I would put this in my top 5 of the fragrances I own and I love. This one right here, unfortunately, just doesn't come close, and it's just missing a few notes, and it really goes to show the difference just that can make. Again, disagree with me? Let me know down in the comments, but I'm going to put a pass on this. It's a beautiful fragrance, just not for me, and I don't think for men in general. And just to show there's no hard feelings against Tom Ford, right on the other end, highly recommended. You've got to add this to your collection. I'm putting this in my top tier. We've got Costa Azzurra. You've also going to notice this came out in 2021. They've got a new Parfum 2022 that just came out as well. That one is going to have a bit more cypress. It's going to be deeper, richer. When it comes down to it, I was able, because I ended up, I think I got a credit card with Ulta or wherever I bought this. Maybe it was Sephora, but I got a 15-20% discount. This is worth full retail. It's a beautiful fragrance. The one I'm wearing actually right now. Great for summer. People talk about it reminds them of walking, throughout Italy, smelling the pines close to the beach. I can see it. This thing is just a beautiful fragrance. And what's great about it, you can go out there and try samples. I say don't be afraid to blind buy. If you, in my situation, I blind buy a lot of fragrances. I live in a small town, and it is something that I am collecting them, and I've learned to be able to read into notes, and I've got certain people that I trust their recommendation. But great part about this, you can go into a lot of box stores that have Tom Ford fragrances. This one should be available. Again, do I recommend the latest one that just came out, the Parfum? It's going to be stronger. It's going to last longer. Whatever, it's going to also be more expensive. So for that reason, I'm going with this one. This is the one I have in my collection. Again, I've worn the Parfum. It's a solid fragrance, but this is the one I'm going to highly recommend, and I think should be in your collection as well. Next up, we've got 2 fragrances from 2021. We've got Paco Rabanne's Invictus Victory, and then we have The Most Wanted by Azzaro. They're going to both be sweet fragrances. This one more of a gourmand. So if you can imagine a chocolate lemon cake, that is this right here. A lot of people like it. They love the vanilla note, and it does make it, very attractive for a lot of people. I didn't really like the combination. So for that reason, get your nose on this. If you love it, grab it. If not, I would skip. Excess, I think, does a better job in this line and fills, it's not a gourmand, but I think it smells better in this one. Over here, The Most Wanted, I'm going to say that this one was redundant, especially if you have Emporio Armani's Stronger With You. Very similar, very sweet. But, the issue with Stronger With You is that you can't always find it in stores. So this one has wider distribution. Again, you smell it, you love it, you don't have anything like it. Highly recommend you pick it up. But I'm not going to say that you need to have either of these because they do feel a bit redundant. They do feel sometimes not the best mixture. So get your nose on these before you purchase. Next up, let's talk about Carolina Herrera. So 2021 release, this is the Le Parfum. And then we've got the new 2022 release, which is the Cobalt Parfum Electrique. So this one right here, I got to put low. And it's simply because I just didn't find a note wearable for me. It's the whole, the hemp note. Not really my thing. Again, if you're into that stuff and you like the smell, highly recommend. This may go up to one of your top categories. And I think this can be found at discounters. It was panned. Not a lot of people liked it. I thought it was really unique. It was challenging. And the problem with that is not everyone loves a fragrance like that. So again, it's going to be a pass for me. But get your nose on it if you want something unique, if you like the smell of hemp. Now, when it comes to the Cobalt, this one right here is interesting. I didn't expect them to go in this direction. You've got truffle mixed in with plum. A lot of people were anticipating that. It's a great summer fragrance. It's been compared to Coach, which is a very sweet, not overly sweet, but a great light sweet fragrance. And that's what I feel this is. Great for summer. This is going to be a crowd pleaser, very different than the others in the Bad Boy collection, very different than the original. Almost feels like I wonder why they just went with the same bottle. I mean, it's a cool bottle and all, but yeah, a nice fragrance. This one though, I'm just going to put in wait till discounters, especially if you already own a lot of summer fragrances. If you don't own any summer fragrances, you want something that nobody else is wearing, then this may be something to try and to grab. All right, Jen, so I don't mean to beat up on a house. And I think for years before I really got into fragrances, I always thought Polo was a very safe fragrance to go with. And maybe that's what they try to be and what they're going to stick to, because both of these fragrances are safe. But based off the descriptors, as someone that's gotten into fragrances, I feel that yeah, they're just, so Gentleman's Club is the one that it's just not really inspiring. It smells like tons of other fragrances out there. If you've smelled anything in the Y collection by Yves Saint Laurent, then you have smelt this. It's a safe, solid fragrance. If you wanted to give something to a gift, a guy that's not into fragrances, then maybe this one would be a good option. Maybe that's what they're aiming for. But for me, this would be a pass because it's so redundant to so many other fragrances in my collection, which is sad because I really did like the bottle design and I thought it was going to be more elegant, more of a sophisticated, higher end men's fragrances based off the marketing. Now, what we've got over here, this is going to be the Intense Eau de Parfum. Disappointed in this one because when you see the words intense, you see eau de parfum. I expect something stronger. I saw the green bottle. I thought, wow, they're going to take the original green, make it better, make it more intense. And that's nothing. This is a modern interpretation of it that is watered down. And so it's not intense. It's not strong. Doesn't feel like an EDP at all. The mint note is what saves it, where I think it's actually a decent fragrance in of itself, but they should have gone with a different style of bottle. They shouldn't. Yeah, it just felt more like a blue fragrance than it felt like a green fragrance, even though it has a lot of great aromatic notes. They didn't come out very well. Again, if I came into this with no expectations, would be a decent fragrance, maybe save it, buy it at discounters. But because of the naming, because of the color, I had to put this as a pass. Quick correction, it's Ralph's Club. That being said, it does not change my opinion. This one, I just expected more from it. And this one, definitely because of the name, I expected more. Agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments below. Next up, let's talk about elixirs. And both of these, I think you need to have in your collection if you enjoy fragrances, you like things that are deep and rich. Both of these deliver on the goods. So 2021, the end of that, they came out with Sauvage Elixir. And I think this is a masterpiece. I've said this before. As soon as I got my nose on this, highly anticipated, it blew me away. Licorice, this is niche quality. Yes, it's expensive. You get a small bottle, but don't worry. You will wear this probably for a year and just get tons of value, tons of compliments. If you enjoy Sauvage, but you want something deeper, richer, yeah, this is where it's at. Now, this one's going to be more controversial. I know a lot of people feel that this is incredibly sweet. It was overdone. This is a rose cedar vanilla powerhouse. So if you don't like the original 1 million, then skip on this. But to me, this one was less synthetic and it's better and it improves on the original in every way with performance. Again, a great fragrance is exactly what it says it is. And so for that reason, both of these I'm putting high up on my tier as highly recommended. You need to add to your collection. So the next couple of fragrances are going to be ones that are very different, yet I think are great options, especially if you can smell it or you pick it up at a discount. And that's where I'm going to put this one, Paco Rabanne's Phantom. If you can get this at a discount, you can get a deal on this. It's good. It is citrus mixed in with that vanilla. It's a unique woody combination. A lot of people, they didn't like it. They felt it was too synthetic, but what do you expect for something that's shaped like an alien? This one it's an irreverent fragrance. It's something that's unique, something that's going to stand out from the crowd. And again, I personally liked it. Yes, I did feel that the packaging was gaudy. I wanted to dislike this one, but I couldn't because it was so unique. It was something that hadn't been done before, and I was happy to add it to my collection. Would I pay over retail or full retail for it? No. Was it something I would get at a discount? I did, and I'm happy to have it in there. Next up, we've got another out-of-this-world fragrance that actually did not get any hype back in 2020, and that is Alien Man Mirage. So this one I'm actually going to put into, it's worth paying full retail, but you don't have to because it's on discounters. Nobody wears this fragrance, yet it's actually a really unique one. It's the mineral notes. If you could have its own category, silver instead of blue, because it's oftentimes thrown in with blue fragrances. It is not that, yet it's not really, it doesn't offend anyone. This would be a great summer fragrance. It is unique. It's got some really unique notes. I know the original had this dill note. I don't really pick that up here, but that mineral notes, the metallic smell just comes through. Again, if you like that type of stuff, if you can get your nose on this, if you want something different, and yeah, you're like, I don't want that Phantom, but I want something still that's got, you know, the whole alien thing going with it, try this one. Very unique, worth adding to your collection. So Alien Man Mirage, I'm putting into worth paying full retail. Now, these next two fragrances come from very established houses with tons of fragrance options out there. We've got Yves Saint Laurent and Versace. Now, Eros, you're going to look at this and think, well, didn't they come out with that one a decade ago? Well, this is the new Eau de Parfum that they put out in 2020 and is a solid release, a slight, I think, more sophisticated version of the Eau de Toilette. Am I going to recommend it? No. Get your nose on it. If you really love it, yeah, it's worth it. But I would just pick up the Eau de Toilette on discount. I would not pay full retail for this. I would even, you know, if you already have the Eau de Toilette, there's no reason to even pick it up at a discounter. That being said, get your nose on it. If you really love it, yeah, go for it. Same thing with this one right here. There are so many now fragrances in the Y collection. The Le Parfum that they released in 2021 is the sweetest and the smoothest of all of them. That being said, I find it's a little bit redundant with the EDP. And if you already have the EDP, you don't need to grab this one even at a discount. That being said, because they just came out with it, you're not going to be able to find it for a discount. A solid fragrance, but a bit redundant. For that reason, again, get your nose on it. Then I would recommend it if you absolutely love it and if you don't own any other fragrances in the line. All right, gents, there were a lot of fragrances I did not rank in this video. And if you want to see a part 2, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always listening. I want to make better videos for you all. And yeah, it's just, I didn't want to make this like a super, super long video. But yeah, so many fragrances out there, so many choices. And if you've got questions, again, throw them down in the comments. Maybe reach out to me at Real Men Real Style. If you haven't been over to our new website, we've improved it. Got tons of great information for you. So go check it out. I'll put the link down in the description. And if you want to learn how to be able to buy these fragrances at a discount, you want the ultimate guide, guys, I've got you covered in this video right here. Really, I spent a good amount of time breaking out exactly how to get the best deals, how to avoid counterfeit fragrances, all covered in this video right here. So go check it out. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you in the next one.